Unscheduled live event right here on the Total OS Today Technology channel. Was not planning on doing this, but the weather outside is kind of rainy and gloomy, so I thought I would do, well, some news, the Total OS Today weekly news live. It is unscheduled, so hopefully someone out there will catch this and maybe say hello in the chat. In fact, I will say hello. If anybody's out there, say hello. I was originally going to do a scheduled, or wanted to do rather, a news and nonsense with our friend Stephanie Forian. And we did a live event last week, and it went well. We talked about Linux versus Mac versus Windows, stuff like that. And she sang a few songs, and I found out a couple days ago she caught a horrible, horrible cold. So Stephanie, if you ever watch this or will watch this in the future, get well soon. And on behalf of myself, Stephanie, and the folks who joined in, thank you for the, well, surprisingly good, considering the bandwidth issues in Germany. Very nice free concert of 3 songs from last Sunday's live event. So yeah, this is live, guys, so say hello if anybody's listening or watching. This is an unscheduled live event right here on the TOSTW Today channel. And we'll see how many people we can get on. We'll talk a little bit about some Linux news and some updates. So if anybody's out there wants to say hello, please do. And if nobody says hello, nobody shows up. Hello, Garth. Garth, it's been a while. How have you been? Man, I can't think of the last time you and I said hello. How's things going? Sean says hello. Hello, guys. Thanks for joining in. This is an unscheduled live event here Sunday night here in the United States. And I was just saying I was hoping to do a news and nonsense with our singer friend Stephanie Forian. We did a live event last Sunday night. It went well. I'll post a link below in the show notes if you want to check it out. We talked about Linux versus Mac versus Windows, and she sang a few songs for us. And after that, I guess this past week she got sick. Horrible cold, she said. So whatever is on your mind, guys, let me know. Guard says your dad, oh, your dad died. Oh my goodness, I did not know. Okay, my condolences, Garth. I did not know that. Hence the quiet, but all is good. I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, again, this is unscheduled. I didn't feel like hooking up my webcam or set up the lighting or anything. I figure, I would just hook up the headset mic. And if you guys want to say something or say hello, please do say hello. I will talk here shortly. We'll go into some just brief Linux news of the week and see what's new in the Linux world. Hopefully do a little bit more with these live broadcasts. I have fun doing them, and last Sunday night we had fun. Stephanie and I had a lot of fun doing the live show, answering some questions and talking about Linux versus Mac versus Windows. I don't know if any of you caught one of my videos this week, but last Sunday night before the live show I had Windows updates to install, and an hour plus later it still wasn't done. I had what I call I had the white circles of death, I guess you could call it, versus the BSOD, the blue screen. And to make a long story short, I had to hard cycle on and off the desktop 3 times to get to the advanced options screen and go into system recovery to get my desktop to boot back on. And what that does, it deletes any apps I installed, saves your files and folders. I mean, I back up stuff anyway. It saves your files and folders, and thank God it does that. So I don't know if it was an issue with the update or an issue with an app. Either way, Windows 10 is working now. But have no fear, the show had to go on, so it was Linux Mint to the rescue. Any of you guys use Linux Mint? Then Garth, you were using Manjaro for a while, weren't you? I think so. Let me know if you're still using that. So, all right, let me go into the, let's see here. I'm in Google Hangouts. Let me go to share the screen. Let's see if I can do this. And we'll go into split screen and look into some Linux news. So let's go here. Okay. Let me know if you guys can see this, but I have a split screen here. It should be popping up now. Anyway, yeah, this is the live event. There's a graphic here coming up, a live event from last week's show. This is just titled Windows, Mac, and Music. It's over an hour. If you guys just want to skip to the music part, just fast forward it to about the 43-minute mark if you want to hear Stephanie do some of her songs quietly. Did you know that in Germany they have quiet laws, which is great? She says on Sundays you cannot play music loud, talk loud, scream loud. I think that's awesome just to chill on the Sunday. So this was done. This was 11 o'clock p.m. her time. She was able to do a couple of quiet, one a cappella piece of a new song. And anyway, it turned out well, considering sometimes she has bandwidth issues in Germany, but it worked out well. All right, well, let's go into a little bit of some Linux news. Hopefully we'll get more people jump on. Once again, if you're joining, this is an unscheduled live event here on the Total OS Today Technology channel. So let's go into some Linux news. Gart says, so I've bought a big spec System 76 laptop. Yeah, the System 76, that's based here in the States, out west somewhere, west of me anyway. Let's see, laptop, and of course Ubuntu will be removed and Arch will be installed. Okay, no Arch, not Manjaro. I'll be posting a video on this laptop when it arrives. Cool, Garth. Let me know how the System 76 laptop works out. Yeah, some of you know last summer I took the Manjaro challenge, and it just did not work out for me. So I'm back to using Ubuntu-based systems. Not surprisingly, that was my very first. Ubuntu was my very first, I guess, date into the Linux desktop over 10 years ago. So I'm more comfortable with Ubuntu-based systems. So yeah, let me know how that System 76 laptop works out. Let me see here. I'm just monitoring the live page. Okay, I guess everything looks good. Let's go into some Linux news. Let's see where we at here. Okay. One of the podcasts that I like to listen to occasionally is Mintcast. This is the podcast by the Linux Mint community for all users of Linux. It's not necessarily for beginners, but I enjoy listening to this. And if you guys ever have a chance to listen to the podcast, some podcasts besides my own, take a listen to Mintcast. They've been doing this. It's been quite a few years now. So it looks like the latest podcast was about installing basic system software. Looks like this is multiple parts. Sean says, what happened to Spatry? Sean, I do not know. The last message I got from him here in the States last fall, there was a late season hurricane in Florida. That's where he lives. He told me he was okay. And honestly, Sean, that's all that I know. I'm assuming he's okay. I have not been able to reach him since. I still enjoy doing some news and nonsense, so I just asked my friend Stephanie to join in. Now, Stephanie uses only Apple Mac products to write her music and create her albums and stuff, and she was kind enough. She was a good sport. She's been a good sport to join me, and it's obviously a different type of communication, between me and her than it is with Spatry, since Stephanie does not use Linux. But that being said, you may want to take a listen to some of the later podcasts I did with Stephanie. I think they turned out okay. She's been a good sport, and we both laugh, and I guess that's what it's all about. So Sean, yeah, as far as Spatry, I have not been able to reach him, I would be happy to do another, more podcasts or more news and nonsense shows with Spatry. So if anybody out there happens to catch Spatry, let me know. Okay. Let's see, the other podcast that I sometimes listen to is the Ubuntu podcast. Now, these guys have been doing it, it says here, season 10. 10 years. That is a long time. So, this episode is called Aloof Puni Ren, or whatever that means. It looks like here, let's see what the topics were here. I'm just browsing through this real quick. What does it say here? And whoever's joining in, please feel free to say hello. This is an unscheduled live event. Where was I? So the news of the week, according to the Ubuntu podcast team, website operator complains when Firefox warns of insecure login page. Firefox has an insecure login page. Oh no. What else do we have? Gitter has been acquired by GitLab. Moodle Remote. I have no idea what that is. Code execution bug. Microsoft is infesting. Here we go. Oh, where's Spatry for this one, right? Microsoft is infesting Windows 10 with annoying ads. Notice, gentlemen, it does not say Microsoft is injecting or adding. Microsoft is infesting. It's making me laugh. I think I have to call the exterminator, right? Anyway, Microsoft is infesting Windows 10 with annoying ads. I haven't noticed it on my desktop. Of course, nowadays I tend to use more Linux. I have Linux Mint, I have Ubuntu Mate. I haven't noticed it. Anybody out there use Windows 10 lately with annoying ads? I haven't really noticed, but anyway, it is what it is. What else do we have here? GNOME's Vala 0.36 released. Firefox goes Pulse Audio only. Uh-oh. Leaves ALSA users with no sound. Aren't most Linux distributions, don't they have Pulse Audio installed by default usually? I think so. Let's see, a follow-up on a 32-bit PowerPC architecture, some other stuff here, the KDE Slimbook unboxing, and some other news here on the Ubuntu podcast. One of the personalities here on the Ubuntu podcast, one of the hosts, is Martin Wimpress. That name might be familiar. He is the one responsible for giving us the terrific Ubuntu Mate desktop, which last year I called the gold standard of Linux, at least for beginners, gold standard Linux distribution for beginners. Previously I really liked Zorin, but since they switched to the GNOME desktop, I am not a big fan of GNOME, at least not for beginners. Anybody else out here mess with GNOME desktop? I tried it for a while, but there's just too much tweaking involved when it comes to GNOME. All right, let's move on to the next piece of Linux news. Once again, if you are just joining in, this is a unscheduled live event here on the channel. That's right, I am broadcasting to the world. Your comments can be seen around the world. So say hello, don't be shy. All right, let's go. Let's see, what else do we have here? Well, it looks like Netflix launches support for Firefox on Linux. Didn't Linux have Netflix support? Let me see this real quick. Linux users have an option if they want to watch Netflix. The streaming service is now compatible with Firefox for the platform. Before this, only Google Chrome, could play videos from the website outright. There was even a time when users had to make sure they were using a version of Chrome with the required encrypted media extension support. Anybody out there use Netflix for Linux? Does it work? I don't have Netflix. Normally, sometimes I'll turn on my Xbox One. There's a couple of movie apps on there occasionally that I'll tune into. Sometimes at night I'll catch up on some of your comments, the news, and watch some stuff on my phone. Sometimes on my tablet, but I currently do not use Netflix for Linux. Nothing against Netflix for Linux, but if anybody else uses Netflix for Linux, let me know how it works. All right, let's go to Distro Watch real quick, see if there's anything new here. Sometimes I'll browse through this website just to see what's new, and this is sometimes where I get ideas to take a look at a new release or a new upcoming Linux distribution. Somebody asked me to take a look at something. What was it? Solus. I think that's it. I might take a look at that this week. So let's see. Minimal Linux Live. New KOS features. What a name. I call it chaos. Haha, I know I can't help myself. Let's see. Emma Buntus. I don't know what that is. Let's see what else we have here. Linux Lite. Oh, that's a nice one for beginners. I've tested that before. New additions to Pi Linux. I have no idea what that is. And let's see what else do we have here. Developmental release. Proxmux 5.0. Proxmux. Isn't that like a stellar constellation? I'm thinking Proxima Centauri, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, it's guys, it's quiet here on the comments. If you have something to say, I wanted to ask a question, please do. I'm monitoring both the chat and what I'm looking at here. What else do we have here? Plamo Linux, which was launched back in 1997 as a Japanese language extension for Slackware. I do not use Slackware. Let's see. We have Nudix Linux. Okay, don't know that one. Let's see what else. Oh, let's see. Torkel. Hello. Yes, Netflix works with Google Chrome on Linux. Very good. I guess it works pretty good. There's no buffering or anything, right? Let's see. Dagan's Tech Adventure. Hello. Thanks for joining in. Hello. I thought to share a little bit about me, where I'm mostly a Windows user. Please do. Everybody is welcome here. I use Linux and Windows multiple times. So yeah, but I do play with Linux once in a while. Dagan also says I've been using Windows since Windows 98, but mostly since Windows 2000. Dagan's Tech Adventure. How does Windows compare compared to Linux? Which one do you think is better or worse? And are you somewhat annoyed on how Windows 10 does updates? I don't care for the update process in Windows. Never have. And it seems a little bit more time consuming in Windows 10. I was speaking before this past Sunday, before the last live event. I had Windows updates to install. It just took too long, and I had to go the long way to finish updating my system. It was unusual because I have two desktops. I have one as a backup, and the other desktop updated fine, but this one I had to hard boot or power on and off 3 times to get into the advanced options mode in Windows to get my system up and running. So Dagan, how does Windows work out for you? Okay, we have a development release, Ubuntu 17.04 Beta 2. Okay, very good. Let me go back. Guards Games. So I posed the question tossed in the video. The video was originally to create a discussion, and 101 people viewed. Yet only 6 answered. Are people scared? Garth, I do not know. If people are scared there's no reason to be scared. Look, this has always been a friendly channel for all users of technology. I have no ego to bruise, guys. I use what works, and I've been comfortable using both different versions of Linux and Windows. I don't have a Mac, at least not yet. Nothing really against a Mac or Apple products. I think it's because I've been so used with Windows and Linux. Maybe I just don't want to learn anything else. So yeah, who's ever's watching or viewing this, please say hello. If you just want to say hello and then leave, that's okay too. I enjoy doing these live shows. I know I didn't do enough last year. I had requests to do more. Anyway, I'm here. So if you want to stop in and say hello or have a question, please do. or have a request, please do. Okay, I'm just browsing through the DistroWatch website. This is one of the websites again that I just browsed through at random. Rockstar is a CentOS-based Linux distribution designed for NAS and private cloud storage. Speaking of privacy, I must say that in the beginning I used Linux for privacy over, say, Windows 10, but it seems to me that once you get on the internet, guys, when it comes to privacy, all bets are off. FM Jan X, I hope I said that right. What's your favorite Linux distro? Well, my favorite ones are the ones that I'm comfortable using. Now, keep in mind, I am not a power user per se when it comes to Linux. So, in the past, I've enjoyed using Zorin, Linux Mint, Ubuntu, yeah, stuff like that. Ubuntu Mate. Why are all bets off? Can't we just use a VPN? That's a good point, FM. VPNs are great. I'm not sure if that's 100%. I suppose nothing is 100%. So maybe, okay, that's fair. If I had a bet on a little bit more privacy, I would say VPN. That's a fair statement. And I think Torkel uses Linux Mint Mate. Well, that's what I'm using now. Yeah, I love my Linux Mint Mate. So very good. So yeah, FM, yeah, VPN is great. I was going to say the Opera web browser, I believe, has a built-in VPN feature that you may want to check out. But generally speaking, once you get on the web, even with the VPN, I'm not sure if you are truly 100% private or secure. But if I had a choice, yeah, I would definitely say use a VPN. Dagan says, I work at a local computer store part-time. Thank you for saying my name right. Thank you for letting me know. How I would compare is I do like that it works on my computer, but still have to learn some things. Okay, fair enough. FM says, if you have Firefox, check out the ad on Random Agent Spoofed. Random Agent Spoofed. FM, is that something where it allows you to... and maybe I'm wrong. I'm trying to think. Random Agent. That add-on allows you to fake or spoof or pretend that you're using a different browser versus... I could be totally wrong on that. I've heard that expression, FM. Let me know. Opera has a built-in proxy when you enable turbo mode. Okay. Slack Climax, how you doing, Slack? What's up? Good morning, everyone. Currently 2:37 a.m. Oh my God. Yeah, if I'm going to do these, I got to do these at a better hour for you guys. I'm sorry, Slack. This is just a last-minute thing. You are in London. Well, good morning. Thanks for joining in. And thanks for saying hello. Denarte Azevedo. Hello, Denarte. It's safe using Kali Linux or other Pentest distros as main OS. Yeah, most Linux distros that are maintained, and if you do all the updates, I think they're fine. I think they're safe to use. FM says check out privacytools.io. Okay, cool. Yeah, when it comes to add-ons for web browsers, there are so many of them. But one thing I noticed with add-ons, guys, the more add-ons you add, it tends to slow it down, and I really don't like that. But yeah, checking out some of these tools. So once again, FM, if I may ask, what exactly is Random Agent Spoofed? If you have the time, post it in the text here so I can take a look at. I suppose I can look it up. Maybe I'm just being lazy. I'm just curious. Yeah, I believe there's also, of course, ad blockers. I think there's something called NoScript. I use, what's the extension I use? Privacy Badger. Although when it comes to ad blockers, I tend to shut them off on YouTube because of the ad revenue, and that helps out a lot of YouTubers, including myself. But sure, when it comes to add-ons and privacy, being more secure, you do have many options. Okay. Yeah, keep texting, guys. I'll try to monitor your comments here. Let's see. Let's go back to DistroWatch. EXTix is a desktop distribution based on Ubuntu. Okay, here we go. What else do we have? Ubuntu, never heard of that one. And some other news here on Distro Watch. Let's see here. Solid XK. Distro Watch, some more Distro Watch news. Okay. And BSD, I think I tried to use that once. I could not get BSD to install. Anyway, Dagan says, you're welcome. I'm also 17 years old. Cool. I'm from Kansas. Excellent. So it's not too late for you. I think you're 2 hours behind me. I'm in Eastern time. Anyway, you're from Kansas. I'm getting ready to graduate high school. Congratulations. And I will work on a degree for computer networking, but I do a side business of computer repair. Very good. Look, Dagan, let me tell you, when it comes to your own business or a side business, service, knowledge is very good. Very good. So yeah, as long as you know what you're doing, word of mouth will spread, Dagan, and you shouldn't have any problem finding computer repair work as a side business. Okay, so let's see. So once again, if you're just joining, I was mentioning some Linux news for the past week. Some podcasts I like to listen to is Mintcast. Ubuntu podcast is very good. We talked about some Netflix being available or launches support for Firefox on Linux. And let's see what else we got here in the comments. Guard says, so the question went like this: if you could give up some or all of your security to run games within Linux, would you do it? And there was a categorical no. If you could give up some of all of your security. Well, let's face it. I don't care what you use. We like our security. FM says Random Agent Spoofed is pretty much an add-on that has a bunch of privacy tweaks. Okay, I'll check it out. Thanks for posting that. All right, let's get out some of these tabs here. Oh, before I forget, once again, if you haven't already, if you want to take an hour of your time, listen to the live event from last week. We compared Windows versus Mac versus Linux. Make sure there's just a few days left to vote for this month's YouTuber of the month. Remember, one comment equals one vote. Slack says, remember guys, that if you are going to do things that are not quite legal, VPNs will not protect you. Okay, sounds about right. One of the websites I like to browse through is Noob's Lab. Let's see what's new there. And by the way, I'm using Chromium, which uses DuckDuckGo, which is supposed to be a little bit more private. Anyway, as a search portal. Let's see what's new on Noob's Lab. Give Windows, what's this say? Let me go back here. Give Windows XP look to your Ubuntu. Well, I'm assuming if you're using Linux, you don't want to be reminded of Windows, so why would you want to give it that look? I don't know. It's just a thought. Let me get out of this. Okay. FM says the best thing to do is buy your own VPS and install OpenVM. Make sure to give 0 logs. Okay, little tip there. Green Recorder. All right, you may want to check that out. Just browsing through Noob's Lab. Obsidian icon. Install Cinnamon 3.2. I have not had very good luck or complete luck installing the Cinnamon desktop on Linux Mint. It seems like the applets are not the applets. What do they call the add-ons? Spices. It's half the time they don't seem to work. Anyway, that's why I prefer Mate. FM. So I'm assuming all you do is a VPN, a VPS service. Stacer. Here we go on Noob's Lab. I actually installed this. This is like a cleaner, I guess similar somewhat to CCleaner in Windows. This is actually very newbie friendly, so you may want to check this out. And it looks cool too. Let's see, Kamaribi. Desktop using animated parallax wallpapers. Okay. Let's see, Dagan says, and to also tell you, yes, I've been learning for a while since I was younger. I also have a small workshop in the corner of my parents' garage. Cool. check out my channel. I do like to share what I do. Cool, Dagan. Yeah, so guys, check out Dagan's Tech Adventure. I'll take a look at it, Dagan. Thank you. Let's see here. Heard of Chrome OS but never tried, according to Noob's Lab. Here is the Chrome OS theme. Interesting. Skype 5.0 beta available for Ubuntu Linux. Cool. I've been using the old Skype. I'm going to wait till this thing gets out of beta, just to be safe, I suppose. Simple weather indicator. Okay, very good. What else we got here? Screenlets. You guys remember screenlets? This reminded me a little bit of when Vista first came out and had those little, I guess, screenlets on the Windows Vista version of the desktop. You can really clutter your desktop with all of this stuff if you want to. I guess somewhat reminiscent of Conky maybe for Linux, maybe. Take care of your eyes using Safe Eyes application in Linux. What the heck is that? Safe Eyes is a useful application designed to give your eyes a little break from your computer. Okay, I guess that sounds reasonable. We have Kodi 7T Krypton. What else is new? Using Linux. Hey, and looking for a VPN. Here we go. Here is how to choose the best option. Well, you know what? FM, since we're talking about VPN, let's take a look. How's that for timing? The best option is don't go on the web, period, right? Let's see. Linux is always a better option than other operating systems in terms of security. Okay, it is an ideal OS for privacy and security conscious user, but the best way to secure your online activity and increase your privacy is to use a good Linux VPN or a virtual private network. Well, there you go. So speaking of VPNs, I really cannot argue with that. Let's see here. How to start using a Linux VPN to get familiar with the technology, check reviews and recommendations. Very good. Well, I think FM just gave us a recommendation here. Best option to get started with a Linux VPN is to choose Viper VPN free trial. I'm not familiar with that. Has anybody used that? So it looks like we got some features of Viper VPN. Okay. Private encrypted network and no third parties involved. Well, that's good. Pricing. The pricing policy is flexible and there are 3 packages: Basic, Pro, and Premier. I guess that's fair. Okay, so check out Viper VPN. What else do we have on Noob's Lab? What are your guys' favorite websites for checking out technology in Linux? I use Noob's Lab. I use Linux Today. I use Ars Technica. There's an app on my Android phone. Actually, no, it's on my tablet. Linux News. You may want to check it out. Sometimes I'll get information from there. Let's see. Dagan says, yes, I've seen that the Safe Eyes feature would be almost like the feature in the Windows 10 Creators Update that Microsoft would introduce here soon. Okay. Speaking of Safe Eyes or something like that, there's something new in the latest GNOME desktop. Let me think. What was it called? Night Light or Night Mode? Let me see if I can bring that up. GNOME Night Light? Kind of caught my attention. Maybe not. I thought I saw. Here it is. Here we go. GNOME's new Night Light feature aims to help you sleep better. It's accepted internet lore and legit science that the blue light emitted by bright screens like the one you're staring at right now has an effect on our sleep patterns. I don't know. How can I tell? Many of us use a blue light filter to lower the amount of blue light we're exposed to increase our ability to fall asleep quickly. GNOME's native blue light filter for Linux. Interesting. I'm going to have to check this out. So here it is. Windows. So yeah, for Windows 10, Windows 10 Creator Updates, Apple iOS, and Google's Android all include features to automatically reduce the amount of blue light emitted by laptop displays, PC monitors, and phone screens during certain times of the day. It says here, blue light filter is built into the GNOME 3.24 desktop. Any of you guys have tried this blue light reduction on or off in Windows or anything, or in Linux? I wonder how can you tell if it's affecting you? Just kind of curious. Dagan says, yes, I've seen that the Save Files feature would be almost like the feature in the Windows 10 Creators Update. Okay. I think, yes, that GNOME Nightlight is where I've seen that GNOME. Okay. I may have to try this and just to see if it does help reduce or helps me fall asleep better at night. I'm not really sure. I don't know. I'm kind of skeptical. I suppose there is a science behind it. What are some of the comments here? Using Redshift icon. Would you like to see a similar feature built into other desktop environments? Why not? If it works, why not use it? Anything to make your life a little bit easier, huh? Anyway, that's new GNOME's Night Light feature. Let's go to Linux today and see what we got. I would say, guys, maybe like another 10 minutes, and then we'll wrap this up. So to whoever joined again from London, wow, thank you. Anyway, I did a product review, by the way, of a Jabra earpiece, the Jabra Bluetooth Stealth. Very good, excellent quality. If you're looking for a Bluetooth, check out my review, unsponsored review. Nobody paid me to give that review, so check it out. If you decide to buy it, I posted an Amazon link below, an affiliate link if you would like to support the channel. Anyway, okay, let's move on here. What else? What other Linux news do we have? Okay, Ubuntu GNOME 17.4 final beta, very good. Google threatens to distrust Symantec SSL TLS certificates. Ooh, that sounds nasty. How to install Skype, rather. Yum. Configuration in Linux. I love that. Yum. That I believe is the installer for, I forget which distribution. Slack says insomnia means never having to say goodnight. Interesting. Never thought about that. Yeah. That point, that's the trip. But then if you don't sleep at night, you'll be cranky the next morning, right? Yeah. Ubuntu 17.4 Zesty Zappos. That's making me hungry. Final beta released. Let's see. Linux laptop display battery status and thermal temperature. See if anything else here catches my eye. Entroware launches Ubuntu powered Kratos laptop. Don't think I missed anything else that catches my eye. Nope. Let's try some other tech news here. Anybody catch any unusual tech news this past week? There was something I was going to post on the News and Nonsense. There's a company has a service on Facebook where you can rent people to make you seem more popular. Hey, whatever sells, I guess. I forget what it's called. I printed out a sheet. I'll have to take a look at it, but that is weird. So instead of Facebook, it's fake book. Anyway, what else do we have here for technology? Uber to suspend autonomous tests after Arizona accident. Ooh, okay. StarCraft remastered. Cool. 5 months later, Samsung is finally about to kill every remaining Note 7 phone. It's about time. Okay, a win for Apple in Beijing as court overturns iPhone patent ruling. Well, that's interesting. The Legend of Zelda. My son used to play that, I think. Let's see, Mass Effect Andromeda, all the known issues. That is such, I don't know about the new one, but is such a cool game. I played the first one. Slack says, in days gone by, you could rent a mourner. Oh man, that's such a bizarre, yeah, thing to do. Moto G5, a new value champion. Ooh. What else do we have here? PS4 and Xbox One are both badly losing the exclusive war. Interesting. I have an Xbox myself, all strictly because of the Halo game. And let's see. Microsoft patent filing could reveal design of next generation folding devices. Yeah, there's a manufacturer that's coming out with a foldable smartphone. I think there's a prototype now that might be available next year. If I'm not mistaken. That is so, you know, it's so cool, but the technology, there is so much out there. I was shopping with one of my relatives at a local Best Buy. These new OLED TVs, organic light emitting diode, they look freaking awesome. They're kind of pricey, but man, OLEDs. I think Samsung's got something else. I forget what it's called. But anybody have an OLED TV? Just out of curiosity, I have a excuse me. I have a standard HD TV, but yeah, these new technology TVs, they look absolutely terrific. Wow. Anyway, okay, let's see. It is about 9:56. Another few minutes, and I guess we'll wrap this up unless something else has anything else to say. Dagan says, one more about me is that I always like the Lenovo business class machines, like ThinkPads. Yeah, Dagan, I'm a big fan of ThinkPads. I love ThinkPads. I got like 3 of them. Well, one of them is on his way out from 2004, I think. But now I've been an Asus user with building computers because of their quality. So Asus is good too? Okay, well that's cool. Yeah, ThinkPads, at least in the past, they're like solid tanks. At least from my experience, and they do very well with installing different versions of Linux. My current desktops now are a Gateway and a Lenovo. Yeah, a Lenovo from 2011 that's outdated, but it still works. So I'm very happy with it, Dagan. Yeah. Slack says the next technology is QLED. QLED, is that Samsung's technology for TVs? I can't remember. I know last year OLED, then this year I didn't catch the electronics show in Vegas. But man, yeah, these new TVs, they look awesome. Of course, now you have the integration of so-called smart TVs. Did you see where the smart TVs were spying on you? There was a news article last week or a couple weeks ago. Man, what does it take to be private on the internet? Well, I don't know, but I don't have a smart TV. I just don't need it. You know, my technology consists of this, couple tablets, a smartphone, and at night, if I need to catch up, I'll have my HTC One Max with me. My bed, catch up on some of your questions, comments, the news, and that's it. And that helps me fall asleep. So yeah, anybody have an OLED TV or has seen one or a QLED? Smart adult toys are a thing. IoT has a lot to answer for. It's like there was another. I don't know if it was a lawsuit or something about a smart adult. I can't remember. I mean, there's so much out there. Okay, nice. Anyway, have a good night. I hope to catch another live stream. Thanks, Dagan. Yeah, thanks for joining in. And congratulations, what you're doing in school, and good luck in the future with your computer degree. So yeah, stop in again when you have a chance. Thanks for stopping by. Take care. All right, just a couple more minutes. So yeah, as far as the weekly the news items I didn't do one last week because of the show. I think I'll just leave this the way it is. Leave it. Yeah. So if there's any news articles that you want to mention here in the chat, let me know. And then I'll wrap this up here in a few minutes. I think I'll call it a night. So catch up on some news stuff like that. Anybody here play Halo? Just out of the blue. My son and I were looking at a news article last week about Halo 6 will include split screen as well. They should. I really missed that in Halo 5. I don't know why those dummies took it out of it, but I guess they heard the fans. And yes, companies do listen if you scream loud enough. So split screen is coming back the next Halo game. Thank God, because that's always fun, to play split screen at home, the family member or whatever. All right. Any other comments, questions, concerns, rants? Feel free to say it now, and I'll reply as best I can. If you have something to say, let me know. We'll give this another minute or so. So, yeah, if you haven't already, once again, vote for the YouTuber of this month. It does not necessarily have to be about technology. Maybe a channel that you really like that deserves more attention. Just post it here in the comments below. That's going to end the end of this month. Let's see. Garth says Linux on the phone, so not Android, which is Linux, but Linux on the phone. I'm doing KDE. Yeah, Garth, Android, I believe, is based off of Gentoo, if I'm not mistaken. So you're doing KDE on the phone. Interesting. I thought about rooting my phone and customizing it, but I'm afraid I might break it, so I will not be doing that. But I was thinking, just popped into my head as Garth says yes. Okay, cool. Let me know how it works out. I was thinking of who would have the resources to make a mass-marketed Linux desktop. Something that you can walk into your local. Well, here it's Best Buy or Walmart, and just buy a Linux desktop off the shelf, and that would be Google. At least that's how I see it. Of course, the question is, do we really need a Linux desktop for the masses? Is that even necessary anymore? I think it would be great, personally, to have another choice, just to make it easier for beginners to the world of Linux. So yeah, I think we should have a Linux desktop. So Garth, yeah, let us know how KDE will work on a phone. Wasn't it last year the first Ubuntu phones came out? There was so much excitement, and I haven't heard much from Ubuntu, at least as far as phones go. I don't know, maybe that's just popular everywhere except here in the US. I'm not sure, but that was kind of a disappointment. I was kind of looking forward to that, but oh well. Speaking of phones, check out the latest, the Nokia phones that are coming out. I guess Nokia, the new ones, those phones will run pure Android. And I got a notification from Nokia to check out their website on the phones. The testing process is very impressive from what I saw. So I think the Nokia phones right now are available in the UK. They should be coming to the States soon, I believe. But so yeah, as far as pure Android on phones, we have what do we have? We have the Google Pixel, the Nexus, and then the soon-to-be released Nokia phones, right? As far as pure Android phones, someone correct me if I'm wrong. Speaking of Android phones, what happened to HTC? I joked HTC stands for Help This Company, but they were the premier Android maker of smartphones. In the last couple of years, I don't know what happened. Maybe they just gave up, but that's, oh well, what are you going to do? Guess companies make their choices. But I don't know what my next phone is going to be. But I really love my HTC because of the stereo speakers. And I got to tell you, when smartphones, at least when it comes to speakers, in smartphones or new smartphones, the speakers, they're not very good. And that's very disappointing. You spend all this money on a phone, on a lease or an installment plan, and it gets expensive after 2 years. You would at least manufacturers can make a stinking smartphone with good speakers. Is it just me who likes good sound on the phone? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but that's how I am. I spend the money, I want what I want. Slack says Nokia were always an innovative company. Hopefully that will continue in the future. Yes, like they one of my first phones was a candy bar style phone from Nokia years ago. Um, they kind of lost their track. They tried going with the Windows 10 phones. Windows 10 phones I thought looked great, but the apps just weren't there, or Microsoft was slow to adopt the smartphone platform. So Nokia did the right thing. They dropped Windows 10, are going to Android, but they're going into Android fully, meaning from what I read, what I saw, it would be Nokia will have a full integrated Android phone, similar to the Google Pixel and the Nexus phones. So yeah, I think Nokia is going to do okay. All right, guys, one more minute. If there's something on your mind, a question, say it now. I think we'll wrap this up. I'm glad at least some of you were able to join. And maybe next time I'll make an announcement to make it easier. Maybe not this late. So, yeah. Nothing else? Okay. All right, guys, I think I will wrap this up. So, thank you once again to all of you that joined me. If you haven't, subscribe and support the channel. Guard says, I will toss Chrome OS started with Ubuntu and then moved to Gen 2. Okay. Canonical did have a great idea with the Edge, which was amazing but didn't make it. Yeah. Wasn't the Edge Garth, wasn't that like a Kickstarter crowdfunding platform? Not that long ago, but they had a goal of $30 million, which was kind of crazy. Anyway, yeah. Slack says, thanks. Yep, thanks, TOSW, and everybody. Stimulating as always. Thank you. Slack Garth says, yeah, the Ubuntu Edge. And when real quick, Garth, when I first saw that crowdfunding or Kickstarter thing, like whatever it was, I thought, great idea. It's time for another smartphone maker or another, competitor. But I predicted it would fail, not because it was a bad idea, but they were asking too much too quickly, and I took some heat for that. Well, why you wish him bad, and how can you say that? I'm just calling it as I see it. Now, they did raise, Garth, correct me, like $10 million, which isn't bad, but I think they wanted 30. And in the end, it just wasn't realistic to try and, kickstart a funding project for a mass marketing. Garth says, I was right. Okay. Yeah, so I think if I recall, they wanted to raise a lot of money in just 30 days, which is crazy in my opinion, even though they raised over 10, which is great. But, to raise a vast amount of money in a little amount of time for a mass marketing phone, I thought was unrealistic. And then I think somebody posted, Garth, well, the Ubuntu Edge is not for the mass market. But I thought that would be the goal. That would be the end game, to have everybody at least try it. Anyway, Garth, yeah, thanks. It didn't work out, and now the idea has been diluted. Well, I don't know. For now, at least, the two big choices for smartphones, Garth, are going to be the iPhone and Android. The closest thing I have is an iPad, which I don't use a lot because I cannot hook up my iPad to my Linux, any form of Linux. Yes, I've tried Wine, Play on Linux. It just doesn't work. So the way I see it, if I need to use specific programs for Windows, I just boot into Windows and download iTunes and hook up my iPad, and do what I have to do. But yeah, the Ubuntu Edge was a little bit of a disappointment. I wanted it to succeed, but I suppose in the end it just wasn't realistic. Unix and Linux, well, yeah. Anyway. All right, guys, I have rambled on long enough. Thank you for hanging out here. It's always a pleasure. We'll do this again soon, I hope. Again, if you haven't already, subscribe and consider supporting the channel. Check out last week's live event. And, if you like Stephanie's channel, maybe send her a like and subscribe to her channel. Maybe buy some of her songs or albums. She needs to pick up a new MacBook Pro to continue doing her work. And the MacBook Pro she was telling me, and the specific software she uses can be rather expensive. So help her out and tell her I sent you. Guys, I think I will wrap this up as it is. So once again, thanks for joining me here on Google Hangouts. Okay, if I missed anything or if you missed anything, let me know in the comments and I'll catch you guys later. That's all I have for this one. And as always, enjoy your technology and please don't text and drive. Take care.